Hi, my name is Tom Rawls and I'm the lead pastor here at Proclaimers. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you not only to the year 2020, not only to the month of January, but to welcome you to a brand new decade. This is an exciting and a significant time for us in the life of Proclaimers Church. I want to take the opportunity just to talk to you just for a few minutes about something that's happening. As I enter into 2020, I will enter into 2020 with 2020 vision. The reason being is I'm getting cataract surgery on both of my eyes. These cataracts will be removed, new lenses will be put in, and what used to be severe disability in both eyes, -8, -7.5, I will have 2020 vision. That means no more contact lenses, no more glasses, except for maybe reading. This is phenomenal. When it comes to vision, the Bible is pretty clear as well. In Proverbs 29 and verse 18, where there is no vision, people perish. Where there is no vision, people live an unrestrained life. That means that people are restrained by vision. People find that there's something exciting about vision that helps to direct their life and show them the future. During the month of January, here at 2020, we're going to be talking about a vision for our generation. We're going to be talking about what we see. Now, having these cataracts is a real disability. It's a disability for me because, I keep wanting to take my glasses off and wipe the lenses down. I put them back on, but there's still lots of dirt there because I've got cataracts. So it doesn't matter how clean this lens is, it's those lenses. Vision is important. This lack of vision, a disability. So vision is an ability, it's a benefit for us to have. I want to encourage you. We as a church have a very clear vision for what we want to see in the life of Proclaimers. And it's phenomenal. Now, let me just say as well, having this cataract surgery will have tremendous impact on me. The ability to see will bring not only benefit, ability, but it will impact my life. I believe that as we begin to explore and understand the vision of our church, that it will have impact on you as well. So I want to take this opportunity to introduce a new series, 2020, a vision for our generation. This is going to be an exciting time in the life of our church. And I want to encourage you, tune in, listen in. If you miss a service, make sure you pick it up on our YouTube channels. We've got a lot of really important things to share with you, the January 2020. So, welcome to the new decade. God bless you.
Mark, so kind. So before we get into things this morning, I have a little favour to ask of all of you. So today is my dad's 70th birthday. Today. He is currently in South Africa watching the cricket, living his best life, spending my inheritance. But I thought it'd be really cool if we could all sing him happy birthday and I could video it and send it to him and earn myself some seriously good daughter points. Up for that? Okay. So his name is John, so you don't have that awkward moment, happy birthday, dear. It's John, nice and easy one to remember. And at the end we need to cheer, okay? So I'm going to get some help from the band. Rebecca is going to help me sing. Let me just get my video up. Are we ready? We've got a okay? Wait. I wasn't ready. I'm ready. Okay. We're rolling. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John Daddy. Happy birthday to you. Thank you all for that. That's going to come in handy later. So, let's get on to the message now. So, we are continuing our series, 2020, A Vision for Our Generation, and we're unpacking this vision statement that Pastor Tom wrote many, many years ago called The Church I See. And remember when I came to this church almost 14 years ago, we were talking about that, the church I see, and it's something that got me so excited, so inspired, made me think, this is the church that I want to be in. And what I love even more now is looking back 14 years almost on and seeing how some of the church that I see, this vision, this big picture stuff, is becoming a reality in the here and now. And the part of the document that I want to focus on this morning with you all is this. It says, the church I see is a church of renowned character and integrity, a place where friendships are important and last for decades, marriages that last until death do us part, and a love of God that goes straight on into eternity. You know, having arrived in Norwich as a wide-eyed 19-year-old fresher in 2006, now in 2020, I can look at this statement and say, this is my reality. I have experienced this. I have friends that I have had for decades, more than 10 years now. I have a marriage that is still going, which is good news, right? Yeah. And neither of us have died yet, so yeah. So I thought, you know, because you probably need evidence, right, of the fact of these friendships that have been going on for so long. So I thought, no, what better than to go back all the way back to the beginning of my Facebook photo timeline and show you all some photos from back in the day. So we're going to put some of those on the screen behind you. I'm really sorry to all of those people who are in here, these photos. I think it's safe to say we've got better with age. But while those are going up, I thought I might break out into the audience and find some of these people that I have known for 14 years and tell you a few good stories. So, here we go. Who should I start with? Well, Mark and Laura. I remember back in the day, Mark and Laura, well, Mark, we used to call him Sparky. Yeah. I remember when you graduated and you got married and you're a teacher, and we thought we probably can't call you Sparky anymore because you're like a proper grown-up adult, and that was a really hard thing to do. So, known those guys for ages, now they've got 3 amazing kids. Where's Tudor? Does anyone recognize Tudor? Who else have we got? John Bex Loads is here. Yay! I remember Bex, Pastor Tom and Denise's daughter, everyone. Moved back to Norwich right now. This is so exciting. I remember you when you were, well, we're the same age, aren't we? But you were like, just before you met, well, you were going out with John. I remember going to your wedding, and now you've got 2 kids. And John, Lee, Alicia. Okay, so John and I were freshers together 14 years ago. I remember John talking about this girlfriend he had in New Zealand, and we were like, sure she exists. That's right. Look, there you are, Alicia. And then she did exist and moved to Norwich. She lived with me for a little bit. We were roommates for a bit. And they've got married, got 2 kids. There's a bit of a theme there that all the people I was freshers with have got married and got kids. That's not us yet. Luke Rogers, where was a fresher with him too? There he is. That's us. That was a club night that we ran as students called the Love-In. But that was speed dating, wasn't it, Luke? We got paired up together. Good times. Luke's now married to Charlotte, got more kids. There's Charlotte, she's right here. Who else? Oh, gosh, there's so many good stories. Yeah, awkward things. Who else? Rianne and Tanya. I remember when you guys were like teenagers, were kids in church. Where's Tanya gone? Where is she? There she is. Tanya, I remember when you were like 15, 16, and you sung at the Proclaimers Ball on crutches because you'd broken your pelvis, and everyone cried because it was amazing. And now you're married with kids, and we've got Tunde in church, and it's just, there's so much history in this room. Dave, Will with that haircut. So Will didn't get a job with that haircut. As soon as he got a normal haircut, he got a job. Any more? Let's keep going. Oh, there we go. Oh, Colour Conference 2007. Annabelle Mills, me and Steffi. When I was looking through all my Facebook photos, I realized that Steffi and I took a lot of selfies together when we were freshers. There's a few more. Me and Ali Marlowe. I remember having a coffee with Ali when she was a fresher, thinking about what church she was going to join, which one she was going to choose. I'm so glad it was us. That'll see you house party. Look at Phil Temple. That's awkward. We'll whiz through a few more of these. I've definitely not got time for this. More of Phil. I thought it'd be nice for people to see you all skinny and young. are still skinny, but just different. This is awkward. Love you. All right, let's go. More. How many? Thought I'd put that in there. Marriages that last until death. That was our engagement when we got engaged. Yeah. Oh, good. So, my point, I guess, is that these friendships for decades are happening. And it's amazing. It's essential. But I do know that finding these relationships isn't always easy for everyone. You might be here this morning and thinking, well, it's great for you, Helena, but I don't have what you have and I'm not sure how to find it. Perhaps you're new to the area and you're trying to make some good connections, but maybe you've moved city or country and you've left behind family and great friends and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by having to start all over again. You're all the freshers out there, you've been in our city, for this fine city, for a few months now, but maybe you're still trying to find, your people. Those good friends that you can do life with but there isn't that history that you've got with your friends from back home. Maybe you're not new. Maybe you've been around for a while, but you've grown disheartened because you still haven't got that core group of people that you want to spend time with. Perhaps it seems like everyone else out there has got their own little groups, and you're not part of one of them. You might be longing for those handful of people you can be yourself with and turn to in times of difficulty. Or maybe you once would have said that you had those solid friendships, but life has changed. Things have moved on. People have gone their separate ways. People have moved out of Norwich. Maybe you've had kids and you don't get to hang out like you used to be able to. And some people have got married maybe and they spend most of their time with their spouse now. Or other people have got busy jobs and they never seem to have time anymore. Maybe you've had the same set of friends since you were a kid, and actually you're thinking, I'm not sure how positive these relationships are for me. I'm not sure they have my best interests at heart. I think we're only friends because it's all we know. Well, I don't know if I want to be like these people that I spend so much time with, but I'm terrified of stepping out and making new friends just in case I end up with no one. Friendship is one thing. We're talking about marriages this morning as well. Maybe you're single and you're wondering if you ever will find the one. If that is a thing, I don't actually think it is. But no offense to Phil. So you're really getting a hammering this morning, aren't you? No, I mean, I think it's who you decide and to choose to love and make a marriage work. Anyway, yeah, come on. Dig me out of that hole. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. So, okay. So, yeah. Perhaps you are single and you're thinking about finding the one, and you're getting worried because people are getting engaged and married left, right, and center, and you wonder whether it will ever happen for you. Or, you're single and enjoying it, which you definitely should, but people around you keep making comment, sowing that sows a seed of doubt, or what makes you worry, will I ever find someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with? Perhaps you are married and you're going through a tough time at the moment. Maybe you're questioning whether to stay together or not. Maybe a long-term relationship for you has ended recently and it was someone who you thought would be till death us do part, but it didn't turn out that way. I think it can be really hard to find friends or a significant other in general, but I feel like it's getting harder to do so as well in our current climate. With the internet and social media, we are more connected online than we ever have been, yet face-to-face socially, maybe it's more difficult for that reason. I also think that as we get older, people become less open to meeting new people and inviting more people to share their life with. If you think about when you're in primary school, everyone was your friend. You made friends all the time, left, right, and center. But it gets a lot harder as you get older. And I think about the time in my life, when I was the most open to making friends, or everyone was the most open to making friends, was probably when I was a fresher. And that's because no one had any friends. It's easy to understand that actually as we get older, our lives do focus down. Our jobs take up a lot of our time. People have kids, and you have to be more organized in how you socialize. There's more things to think about. So maybe we become less available to meeting new people. Then there can be this mentality that actually I've got some good friends. I've got my own little crew. I don't need anyone else in my life. So we become less open to new connections. But overall, we know how important these relationships are. We all need them. We need each other because no man is an island. We need human connection. So how do we make these relationships? How do we maintain these essential relationships? And if any of the situations that I've mentioned so far is something that you can relate to, I think what I'm talking about this morning is going to be helpful. So how do we make and maintain these essential relationships? It's a big question to answer, right? I can't pretend this morning that I'm going to be able to cover a whole marriage course, condensed down. I'm not going to be able to do a whole session on wisdom in finding romantic relationships or a summary of how to win friends and influence people all in the next 15 to 20 minutes. But what I do have is one principle. One thing that I think we can apply to all these scenarios, one thing that I think we can all take away and use in building and maintaining relationships. Before we focus down on this one thing, I want to get into the Bible and look at some context in the Bible. Sounds like a good idea, right? So, what better place to go in the Bible than to the set of verses that are most commonly read out at weddings? That is 1 Corinthians 13, and we're going to put it on the screen behind me. But my Bible, there's a subtitle that says, "Love is indispensable." So read along with me now. It says, "If I speak in the tongues of men or angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." So these verses really emphasize how important love is, right? I'll try and leave that open. Yeah. Love is obviously at the center of all of our relationships. When I say love, I don't mean this kind of lovey-dovey, squishy, romantic, soppy love. It's the love referring, in this text, to the Greek word agape, which means brotherly love, affection, goodwill, benevolence. It's the love at the root of our friendships and our marriages. In Matthew Henry's Bible commentary, it describes this word agape as love in its fullest and most extensive meaning, true love to God and man, a benevolent disposition of mind towards our fellow Christians growing out of sincere and fervent devotion to God. It's pretty good. Essentially, if we don't have this love in our lives, if we don't have these relationships with others to experience this love, we are nothing. No matter what we achieve in life, no matter how successful, rich, famous, skillful, knowledgeable, no matter how talented we are, if we don't have this love, it's all meaningless. So then it goes on, this verses go on to say what love is. I've got a little graphic to help remind us all. It says, love is patient, it's kind, it doesn't envy, it's not boastful, it's not dishonoring, it's not self-seeking, not easily angered, it protects, it trusts, perseveres. And I think all of us in the room could say that we would want a relationship with a person who embodies those kind of characteristics, right? Clearly these are characteristics that help enhance any relationship. There are characteristics you would look for in a friend or a partner. Clearly if we could have more patience and kindness in a relationship, it would work better and be a happier, healthier relationship. When you're sussing out who you might like to be closer with, who you might be friends with, of course you're going to be drawn to the people who are not boastful, that aren't bringing other people down to make themselves look better, that are not all about what they can get out of a relationship rather than what they can put into it. We are looking for people who don't fly off the handle and are easily angered, and we're looking for people who don't hold a grudge. We're looking for people who we can trust. We're looking for these characteristics in other people. And I know they're not always easy to find, though. If you think about all the different situations that I've mentioned already, situation you might find yourself in with your friendships or relationships, I know you might be thinking, but that'd be great if I can find all these characteristics in my friends or my partner, but at the moment, maybe I don't quite see them, or I don't see many of them. And it's all well and good knowing that this is the ideal, having this love at the heart of our relationship and all the characteristics that come with it. But what if that isn't your reality? Well, if we try and focus down, as I said before, on that one thing that can help us make and maintain great relationships, what would it be? What is that one thing that is universal to all of our situations here this morning? What is the one thing that is common to each challenging scenario that I've talked about so far? What is the one thing that is consistent throughout every single relationship, regardless of whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, a marriage, a relationship with parents, siblings, children? What is the one thing that is the same in any relationship you face, no matter what your upbringing is, your culture, your location, your sexual orientation, your gender? The one thing that is universal to all of these relationships, no matter who you are or what your situation is you. The one thing that is universal to all my relationships, be it my friendships or my marriage, is me. In every single relationship you have, the one thing that is consistent is you. Because while there are lots of other variables from different relationships that we have, lots of other factors to consider, different personalities, different issues at play, lots of things that are outside of our control, the one thing that we can control is us, is you and me. No matter all the factors that are stacked against us, that hold us back from forming new relationships that we feel are out of our control or we can't do anything about, actually we still control our response to them. So I want to get personal this morning. I want to challenge us all as individuals, and I'm obviously speaking to myself here too, that if we have difficulties in finding or maintaining relationships, the one thing we can do is look at what we are doing in hampering that process. And I'll give you a little example from my own experience recently. So if you have had a conversation with me in the last 2 months, you'll probably know that I've started doing CrossFit. You probably know that because I talk about it all the freaking time. And you have Holly Middleton to thank for that, because she got me into it. But I love it. I just love it. I love how it makes me feel. I love the fact that I'm getting fitter and stronger. I love the variety of workouts that you have within CrossFit sessions. But the great thing about CrossFit and the thing that it's known for is the fact that it's not just a gym, it's not just classes that you go to, it's a community. And I was all excited about making some new CrossFit buddies. But then I had this little wobble of insecurity about making friends all over again. And I felt like I was like back in primary school. Because there was this one session that I went to where you have to team up with people, you have a partner. And everyone partnered up really quickly, and I didn't have a partner because I was new or whatever. And I just got this pang of, nobody wants to be my partner. like when you're 5 in PE. And then after this session, this kind of seed of doubt grew in my mind. And over the next week or so, when I was going to the sessions, I got it into my head that maybe people aren't as friendly and super enthusiastic about this community as they thought. Maybe they don't want to be friends with me, But then again, in reality, most of the classes I go to are at 6:50 in the morning, so I don't know who is enthusiastic at that time in the morning anyway. But so I had a little word with myself and realized, actually, maybe because of how I'm feeling, I'm not giving off very friendly vibes. Maybe I'm not seeming that approachable because I'm presuming that other people aren't wanting to be friendly with me. Do you see what happened there? I let my thoughts and my presumptions dictate how I behave with people. That presumption about other people then became self-fulfilling because it changed my behavior towards them. Maybe part of the reason we struggle to make and maintain relationships is because our own thoughts, our own perceptions or presumptions of others are wrong. Maybe this then becomes a reality because of how it makes us behave to others without us even realizing it. You see, we can get these things called automatic thoughts. They're presumptions we make without us even engaging our brain in them. They are immediate. It's where your mind goes in reaction to certain situations. They bypass any active thinking or reasoning process. They're impulsive, just a reaction. And they are formed based on our life experiences. They often trigger an emotional response and change your mood and your behavior. My automatic thought in response to this immediate lack of partner in CrossFit, despite me not actually making any effort to partner up with anyone myself, was, I'm not good enough. And therefore, that stopped me from trying to engage with other people. So, if we're part of the problem in making and maintaining relationships, which we are, just in case you missed that sucker punch for this morning, the root of our issues are in our thought life. They're in our presumptions. They're in our automatic thoughts. So how do we change those thoughts, those presumptions? Well, the obvious answer is just to try and think something differently, to challenge those thoughts, to actively think something else, and to reflect and think, actually, am I presuming the wrong thing here? Perhaps the thing that is holding you back from forming and maintaining these strong and great relationships is that your presumption is that you're not going to see these characteristics of love in other people. You're not expecting other people to display these characteristics to you. For example, if you presume you experience kindness in your interaction with others, you're not going to naturally show it to other people, are you? If you think people are going to be easily angered, you'll be on the defensive. If you think people are going to be self-seeking in how they relate to you, you'll subconsciously hold back from forming any deeper connections. You know, if you feel that people aren't trustworthy, you're not going to trust them. If you think that people are not going to persevere and maybe let you down, then maybe you're not going to even let anyone close enough for it to matter. At CrossFit, I presumed people were not friendly and didn't want to be friends with me, so I was not overtly friendly in response to that presumption, and I held back. So challenging our presumptions and changing our thoughts to expect to see more of these characteristics of love in our relationships is one thing we definitely can do. You know, in doing so, it will make us more naturally open, more likely to display these characteristics of love ourselves. But just changing our expectations is only going to help us in part, I think. Yes, so perhaps we don't encounter these characteristics of love because we don't expect them, but maybe we don't expect them because we don't live them out ourselves. Perhaps you presume you won't experience these characteristics of love because you do not see them in yourself. I told you it was going to be challenging this morning. If you don't think you are trustworthy, why would you expect it from anyone else? If you don't think you are kind, then why would you expect kindness from others? If you are being self-seeking in who you form relationships with, why would you not expect others to do the same? If you hold grudges and don't let it go when people hurt you, then of course you're going to presume that other people will be doing the same. You know, if we first display these characteristics of love to other people, we are much more likely to expect and to see them in return. If we embody these characteristics of love, we will inform our thoughts that actually this is possible. You know, not only will it help us expect it in other people, but it will also help us believe that we are capable of them ourselves. You know, for example, the more acts of kindness you display, the more you will realize that you are kind. The more kindness you show to others, the more people will be open to you, and then you can form relationships with them and maintain a great, healthy one. Because you reap what you sow. You know, at CrossFit, I decided I'm going to be friendly to others rather than expecting them to do all the work first. And people were more friendly and chatty back. The more you choose to embody these characteristics of love, the more people will reciprocate them and love you in return. It will open people up to starting relationships with you, and you'll build health into the ongoing relationships that you have. So in order to see these characteristics of love in our relationships, we have to decide first that we will demonstrate them ourselves. So the one thing I think that we can all do in a really practical way going forward from here is to work on showing more of these characteristics of love, even when we do not feel like it, even when we expect others to do it first. You know, I challenge everyone here this morning to pick one, That's why we've got these up on the back here. Pick one of them and work on it this week. Think about, how can I show this one characteristic to other people I am in connection and relationship with this week? Maybe pick one that stands out to you the most, the one that you feel that maybe you lack, or that you don't expect to see in others. Which one stood out to you as we were reading it and made you think, well, I've never encountered that in my friendships or my marriage? Or, man, I wish my spouse would show me a bit more of that, kindness, patience, whatever. Pick that one, whichever one it was. Think about what you can do to embody that characteristic this week. What acts for a friend or for your family can you do that will help communicate this aspect of love? Ask yourself, how can I be more kind to my spouse this week? Maybe not insulting him from the platform would be a good start. How can I show more patience to that friend who often tests it? What can I do to help stop myself being easily angered by my children? How can I be more reliable and trustworthy this week? What selfless acts can I do this week for someone else? Pick one characteristic of love mentioned in this passage and think, how can I show this in a practical way to someone this week? Because the one thing that is universal to all of us in making and maintaining relationships is us. It's you and me. The one thing you have control over is your response, your actions. So let's show these characteristics of love. Let's choose to do that. Let's plan to do that. Let's practice that. Even when we don't feel or think we want to do it. And who knows the kind of friendships we might make? Who knows the kind of ways that our relationships will improve? Now, I think not only will you make more friends, not only will you enrich the friendships you already have, which is obviously of benefit to you, but it'll have a great impact on the people you are in relationship as well. You know, how we show this love to one another, patience, kindness, no pride, boasting, envy, or dishonor, us being slow to anger, forgiving, rejoicing in the truth, protecting, trusting, persevering. It's not only good for us as individuals, it's good for us as a community. It's good for our relationships and for other people. But it is also how we point people to Jesus. You know, because God is all of these things, all of these characteristics. He is love. Jesus is the one who walked on this earth showing all of these characteristics and never failed to do so. These characteristics not only describe love, they describe God. Because God is love. And loving people with these characteristics may be the only way in your world encounter the love of God. You know, by how you show it to them, through your friendship, through your relationship with them, that may be the only way they encounter the love of God. It may be the only way your course mate at uni, who has never stepped through the doors of a church, experiences the kindness and compassion of their Savior. It may be the only way your brother or sister who has fallen away from God understands the patience and grace of their Creator. It may be the only way your partner who has said that church thing, that's just for you, gets to experience the hope that is found in Jesus. As the band come and start to play, I just want to encourage us, let's show this love to other people. And who knows, maybe we will see a church of renowned character and integrity, a place where friendships are important and last for decades, marriages that last until death do us part, and a love of God that goes straight on into eternity. Who knows who you might make friends with in the weeks and months to come through being proactive in showing these characteristics of love to others, even when you don't expect it, even when you don't feel like it. Maybe in the decades to come, you'll be a part of their wedding. Maybe you'll be celebrating the birth of their first child or their first grandchild even. Maybe you'll encounter friendships or a marriage that enriches your life, where you build each other up in your faith, where you encourage each other to achieve your potential. Maybe with these kind of strong, healthy relationships, with these kind of characteristics of love at the center, we can collectively achieve something great. We could have an impact on the world around us, do something together that enriches the lives of other people. Build the local church, swing the doors wider, welcome more people in. More people to show this love to, and in doing so, communicate the love of their Savior. Maybe one by one, we could see a city transformed with the love of Jesus. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us for this YouTube video presentation of our latest ministry. We hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, why don't you subscribe to our channel? Better still, send us some feedback. If you have questions, let us know. We'd be more than happy to interact and engage with you. Thank you again, and we hope that you will join us soon. Why not try and make it to one of our services one Sunday? We're meeting here in Norwich from 10:30 a.m. and then again at 5 p.m. at night. We'd love to see you. God bless you.